What's up? What's up? What's up, family? I am a determined black man, John Jay, and as usual, I'm determined to reach at least one someone that's out there listening to the sounds of my voice, if not each and every one of you all. On today. Look, I know it's been a while since we sat down and had a powwow, but it is much needed. We got about 3 or 4 topics that we need to touch on very briefly, but they are very important. So, if you're with me, hit the like button. If you're with me and you miss my presence, if you miss my voice, if you miss anything about this channel, please hit the like button. And if you ain't already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow the channel. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified each and every time I drop any hot new content to this channel, because we're trying to get the message out there. This is a not playing around channel. Like we really not playing around. And I am a black first channel. It's not that I discriminate against any other race of people, any other group of people. It's just that I'm about my community first. And though some of us may not even identify as black, but maybe you just consider yourself a dark man. But I am for us first, because it is us that are forced to the back of the bus. It is us that is forced to lack the resources and the knowledge that we should have in order to be empowered, in order to be able to prepare for what's to come. See, I know a lot of us are very spiritual people, and we pray and we go to church every Sunday and sometime on Wednesdays, Thursday, Fridays, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to down nobody's religion. I'm no longer a religious person. I grew out of that phase. I was taught religion, and then I taught myself even more religion, and then I taught myself out of religion. For any of y'all that makes sense. If you have any questions about that, please feel free, join the comment section. Jump in the comment section, ask some questions, and I'll be sure to address them on one of my later videos. But as for today, I want to touch on a few things briefly. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a lot of time. A lot of people's patience is short, because people are dealing with a whole lot of different things out here in this world. It's a real world out here, and it's getting realer and realer. It's getting rougher and rougher. It's getting raw and raw. But if you like this channel, if you like being informed as a black person, from a black man to a black man, a black woman, black children, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really try to put us up on game. Like, I go over and beyond. I dig deep to find this information because it's my passion. You know what I'm saying? Even though I don't get compensated nearly enough to pay me for my time. But what pays me even more dearly is to know that someone's out there grasping what I'm saying. Somebody's out there taking heed and not greed. You feel me? So with that being said, let's jump straight to it. First of all, there's a lot of things that's going on to cause us to be distracted. You know, if you look back into my playlist, you'll see that I've created several videos about the distractions, and especially in our community. You know, if you look around, think about who are the most influential people in our community. Let's be real about it. Rappers, and then athletes. Oh yeah, and the comedians. So we basically got 3 types of people, entertainers, that represent us as a whole. Kind of crazy, right? You know what I'm saying? Because even with the politicians, who do they go get? Who do they talk to? Who do they interview? Who do they try to poll whenever it comes down to black issues? Rappers, entertainers. You get what I'm saying? And not to downgrade interview rappers, interview entertainers, but you are more of a clown than you are of someone that we should be taking serious. And so with that being said, I think if I think like that, then I think that they most definitely feel like, you know, you are the entertainment, you know, and not someone that anybody should be taking serious. But because we long for someone to look up to that looks like us, then we basically will go for anything. We basically will settle for a clown. We basically will settle for someone that's dancing around, singing or rapping or, you know, acting or telling jokes. Clowns, you know what I'm saying? People that are entertaining other groups of people, and they're paying them, you know, big dollars. That should tell you something. Your child has a better chance at becoming successful, you know, rich, I'll say, wealthy, at being one of these clowns, a football player, a basketball player, a rapper, a singer, or a comedian. Your child has a better shot at actually being able to create generational wealth and do things to help support you as you grow old and older. Yeah, don't say you don't need your kids to help you, because one day it may come that you do need them. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to build our children up so that they can be more of an asset than a liability. I always tell y'all that. But anyway, these forms of people are used to distract us from hidden agendas. And a lot of these agendas lie right in our face. A lot of times, people like me are screaming it out loud like, what are we gonna do, black people? What are we gonna do so that we can make it through these atrocities that we are continuously facing and continue to face now for over hundreds of years? We've been forced to the back of everything. We've been forced to the back of everything. We've been taught all the wrong things so that we can be distracted and so that we can be confused and so that we can continue to feud and fight amongst each other because I want to know the truth. You know the truth. I don't know the truth. I wish I knew the truth. You know what I'm saying? This is what's really going on when you think about it and internalize it. Like, we really are fighting against an oppressive system. Like, systems that have been put in place to keep us devastated and traumatized. So, when someone like me starts to speak out against it, it seems as though I'm hating. It seems as though I'm just trying to denigrate and downgrade the people that I'm speaking in reference to, but that's not my point. It's always been like that. Even throughout slavery, the people that they treated more fairly, I ain't gonna even say fairly, but more fairly, were those that were clowns, those that entertained them. They gave them more privileges. They gave them more cake. They got to eat a whole piece of chicken. Because you were entertaining them and keeping them laughing and, you know, keeping the other help at bay. Because rather than them strategizing and coming up with ways to become more independent or to free themselves, then they become content with the show because the show continues to go on. And as the old saying says, one monkey don't stop no show. So when one monkey don't perform correctly, they just hire a new one. And this is the process that has gone on for hundreds of years now. It's just got to the point now where the monkeys are making millions, but they're still pennies compared to the billions that the masters are making off of those monkeys. And I hate to relate to us, any of us as monkeys, but I'm just relating to those that are being used, puppeteered, you know what I'm saying, by the puppet master to do things to keep us blind from the fact of the matters that really matter. See, we concern more with who's going to the NBA championship or who's going to the Super Bowl or what did, you know, the latest comedian say about the other comedians. We're more concerned with those things that really don't matter when it comes down to war that's taking place on multiple fronts. And when we're being sabotaged, when you see a ship allegedly, accidentally take out a whole bridge at a port, one of the most important ports in the United States. And you see all of these different warehouses catching fire, and you see half of Hawaii catch fire. You know, there's a lot of things going on that they try to make out to be just a natural occurrence. But if you sit back and you actually do the math, then you'll know this stuff is plotted. This is a plan. This is a strategic plan. It's nothing that's just happening by chance. So with that being said, like, you know, with this Diddy situation, okay, it's just like with Bill Cosby. The very minute they started to try to do their own thing, Bill Cosby tried to buy a network, then all this stuff starts unfolding from 30 plus years ago. To defame his character, to bring him down, to imprison him, to strip him of his monies. The monies that could help empower him and help empower his community, because had he been able to buy this network, which, let me tell you something. First of all, I wouldn't even want to own none of this, you know, these media broadcast companies, because if you really look into it, tell our visions, tell a lie to your vision. But if you really look into it, you'll realize that a lot of this stuff appears to be marked with wickedness, in and out, because it's used to manipulate and not necessarily to tell you the truth. So you have to come to little independent channels on YouTube or wherever I may share this video, which also is one of their platforms. But you have to come to little independent places and people like me to get the nitty gritty, because they don't want to tell you that. They don't want to cause pandemonium. They don't want you all going out here buying stuff all off the shelves, or maybe perhaps they do, you know what I'm saying? Look at COVID. But it's always an agenda. It's always a reasoning once they actually put it out there. But I try to keep y'all to know prior to things getting hectic. And I'm here to tell y'all, it's about to get real hectic. There's some things that they ain't even speaking on. See, when they don't speak on a lot of this stuff that's going on, and you realize how heavy it is, and they ain't broadcasting it. But the women's NCAA championship is getting more media coverage, and the NBA upcoming playoffs is getting more coverage. Then there's reason to be concerned. Like I said earlier, Iran sent hundreds, I want to say thousands, but I know over hundreds, several hundred drones into Israel. And some of them penetrated. Some of them actually penetrated and hit some targets. And actually some of them actually hit some American targets. But you're not hearing much about it. And this was a couple of days ago. This was over 48 hours ago, and I'm still not hearing any.
A major new escalation in the Middle East. Tonight, air raid sirens blared in Jerusalem and other cities after Iran sent over 200 drones and missiles toward Israel. The aerial attack follows a deadly airstrike on April 1st on the Iranian embassy complex in Damascus, Syria. The United States has been helping Israel tonight, shooting down some drones. An Israeli military spokesperson called Iran's actions a severe and dangerous escalation. At least one casualty is reported. Earlier, President Biden rushed back to the White House from Delaware, meeting with national security advisors. There is significant concern that this could widen the ongoing Israel-Gaza war to more of the Middle East. CBS's Deborah Patta is in Tel Aviv with the latest. Deborah, good evening.
Good evening. Iran has launched its retaliatory attack, sending a swarm of drones towards Israel. Israel has deployed all of its air defense systems, closed its airspace, and the War Cabinet has convened to monitor the situation. The attack could take several hours to unfold. The past 2 days have seen heightened tensions in the region in the run-up to the attack, with fears that this could spiral into a regional conflict.
Iran seized a Portuguese container ship linked to an Israeli billionaire today. Iranian Revolutionary Guards boarded the vessel from a helicopter in the Strait of Hormuz. Previously, Iran has threatened to shut down this crucial shipping route. And this morning, the Israeli Defense Force struck a Hezbollah military post in southern Lebanon after the Iranian-backed group fired a barrage of missiles over northern Israel last night. Most of the missiles were intercepted. There were no injuries. We've been preparing for an attack from Iran for years, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said earlier. We are ready for any scenario. The big fear now is that this could significantly escalate the conflict, former Mossad official Sima Shine told us.
Is this the most worried you've been?
Yeah, I think this is the most worried. I think it's on both sides, in Israel and in Iran. At the end of the day, no one wants a full-scale regional war.
Not even the threat of an attack by Iran could keep Israelis off the streets of Tel Aviv earlier tonight. Tens of thousands turned out to protest against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Many demonstrators believe he will do anything to stay in power, including prolonging the war in Gaza and escalating a confrontation with Iran.
I think he failed. He should go home.
Sunday is the start of the work week in Israel. All schools have been closed for the next 2 days. Gatherings in the north have been prohibited, and Ouija people have been advised to stay near shelter.
These events. And anybody with common sense would know that this is going to set off something huge. So prepare yourself. I come to you to tell you to prepare yourself. It's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. And also in that sense, I shared a few posts telling people to be wary and beware of the eclipse, or what they call it, an eclipse, solar eclipse. And I warned people not to partake in the sightseeing of it. And some people thought that it was crazy for me to say that, and they thought, well, nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? Everything happened. It went by, and it went by smoothly, and it was such a beautiful thing. It was such a magnificent wonder of God, and da-da-da-da, you know what I'm saying? Like, people chumping it up to all these different things, but little do they know that the devil has his minions as well. And one thing about him, or one thing about that energy, is it tends to make things look better than what they really are. It tends to make things look golden when it's just gold plated. You feel me? And so a lot of times we fall for the okie dokes based on how things look. And see, that's why I encourage most of you all that's not already tapped in to get acquainted with your spirit, man. Be more sound and awakened, because a lot of y'all think y'all woke, you're still asleep. You're sleeping on the truth. You're sleeping on what's going on around you, and before you know it, it'll be too late to prepare. You can't wait till they sound the alarms to try to start scavenging and scrambling to get things together, when you have days now to prepare. I feel like we have less than 30 days. I'm just gonna be honest with you. While everybody is out partying and enjoying themselves, it's my birthday, I'm gonna do what I wanna do. It's gonna be somebody's birthday. Might not be mine, might not be exactly yours, might be somebody you know. And they gonna be out having a good time. Think about themselves, me, myself, and I only think about themselves and them having a good time. Probably not even worried about their children. Y'all see what's going on also with these people going on vacations, leaving their children at home and trying to watch their children and monitor them over video cameras. Young children, less than teenagers. Now you tell me, what kind of mother would you ever imagine leaving her 8, 9, and 10-year-old children in a house alone while she's gone several hundred miles away? If something was to happen, there's no way that she can make it back to do anything to help save them or to help them at all. Like, who's gonna feed them? And I hope they ain't trying to cook, burn some shit down, including themselves. But it's just another thing that's going on for me to show you all how detached we have become from being morally sound, like being human. We starting to act like the people that made us this way. We starting to act just like them. And then we blame everybody else. It's the same way. Put our people through all these different devastations and trauma. And then when they start acting it out, because you are going to act it out. It ain't a if, it's when. And then they act like it's, oh, we the problem. Oh, see, I told you, black people just violent. They just harmful to themselves. They're not good for anything. Yeah, we started to take on some of your traits after hundreds of years of you actually trying to indoctrinate us with it and force things into our communities without us having a choice. And anytime our people have raised up, you gut them back down. So yeah, we living in a generation now where the children are hopeless. 12 and 13, they going out here smoking something, killing something, bodies on top of bodies. Yeah, 13 years old. I know a couple of them. It's sad. And it's sort of scary, because it's not that I'm scared. I'm scared for my children. I have children that I'm raising out here in this society that has to grow up amongst this. And not that I think my children are better at all, none of that stuff, but I'm trying to teach them better. And the fact is, it's hard, because you got the internet already playing its part. to corrupt and deceive my children. But not only that, they got their peers who some parents don't see nothing wrong with. All the vulgar language and all of the drill music that's pumping all this hate and kill and death and destroy into their heads. And their peers, man, they're being brainwashed, and then they're taking that stuff and they're brainwashing other children that perhaps may have had a chance to fly straight and go the right way. But now they get condemned so bad, and some of you grown folks even make it look cool to be a damn fool. See, I never thought the day would come that grown people would try to be more of a friend and a homie to their own children than guides, instructors, role models. But it's happening. It's happening every day. You got mamas out here that want to be sexy red, so they dressing from head to toe, red hair, booty shorts, tank top, cut off tank tops, and flip flops, looking like a straight 304. You feel me? You got these young men out here thugging, pants off their ass, see they damn drawers and shit stains, guns bigger than they leg hanging off the side, just reckless. You know what I'm saying? Young boys out here with these guns, man. Don't even know how it is to live, man. I actually sat down with one that committed a murder not long ago. You know, I have opportunities sometimes to reach some of these young people, man, talk to some of these people. Sometimes before, sometimes it's after they've already committed the offense that's gonna change their life forever. Little do they know, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, when you ride with all these fellas and all y'all strapped up and y'all all got switches, yeah, it sounds good. Y'all listen to the different songs and all this, that, and y'all go out and commit this crime together. Now y'all feel like y'all bonded and connected until one of y'all get caught and then start singing like a bird. And now all of y'all facing life. All of y'all facing 40, 30, 25 pieces. Man, that shit ain't light. 20 ain't light, especially if it's mandatory. But see, that's why a lot of y'all doing a lot of this shit too, is because you're seeing some of your homeboys go to jail for robbing and, you know, petty stuff that they may get 1 or 2 years for. And even in some of these murder trials, these guys, some of these murder cases, these guys taking pleas and getting out, be back at home in less than 10. So it's actually encouraging a lot of y'all youngsters to go and do it because you think that it's going to help give you some stripes. But little do you know, 10 years is a long time to be behind bars, especially if you ain't built like that. Now, at some point, when nobody built like that, before they went to jail, before they went to prison, they didn't know what to expect. But there are some people that thrive in that setting. Some people that thrive in prison. And it's because of the lifestyle that they're accustomed to. Some of them, they just love banging. Some of them just love, you know what I'm saying? It's a thrill in blood spill. But when you are a morally sound human and someone with a conscience and a heart and family and people that you love and that love you, then it's going to bother you. It's going to be a problem for you. Let alone if you ain't built to be able to withstand the physical aspects of being incarcerated, because it ain't like you can just go hide behind something or go jump in the car and leave. You stationary for as long as they house you there. And so if you show any signs of weakness any day, I mean, it's always somebody watching. 24/7, there's somebody watching your moves and calculating a way that they can get up to you to either beat you out of something, some of your canteen or some shoes or whatever, or trying to find a way to beat you out your manhood, your flesh. Yes. You got guys in there that play all type of devilish games, man, to play like they cool with you. And a lot of time, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I've been locked up in several different states. I've been in different states. But let me tell y'all something. Everywhere I went, let me tell you something. A lot of guys get caught up in this shit right here. Now, let me give it to you raw. Friends, your homeboys. Yeah, I know. You would think that, you know what I'm saying, your homeboys, you got to go back home to these guys whenever y'all all do get out. Or you can call back home and have something done to somebody. So, you know, people really should play the game in a more fair, logical way, right? So you think that your homeboys and shit really got your back, or they gonna be the ones that ride with you. I tell you, in several cases I've seen where the homeboys actually set the other homeboys up. And it's because they know the homeboy, they know what the consequences might be, or if it's not gonna be any, you know what I'm saying? Or that they think that it will, or not. Or it may have been some prior, some previous jealousy, envious. You know what I'm saying? They actually seen him on the street out there balling. They actually seen him out there getting money. Or maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he robbed somebody that they care about. You get on that hitter quick. You get on that horn and man, the message travel just like that. It ain't like it used to be, had to, right? Send a kite out, wait a couple days and the kite come back. Nah, hit him on the horn, shoot him a text. You feel me? And son gonna give you the okay, give you the green light, say, hey man, do this, do that. Yeah, he did this, man. He out of here. Anyway, just be aware of that, young men and young ladies, because a lot of y'all out here hitting the streets hard as well. I want y'all to value your life before it's too late and throw it away, because 20 years out of your life, whether you believe it or not, if you 15 or 20 years old and you come back home 35, 40, trust me, you ain't gonna hardly be able to survive, especially with the way that things are going now and the direction that this world is headed. You don't need no stripes against you, because you already have enough just being who you are. Black man and black woman, my kings and my queens, my chiefs and my chiefettes. We already have enough strikes against us. We don't need those criminal jackets. So young men, encourage your children. Young women, encourage your children to do the right thing. Show them how to do the right thing. Turn that fucking radio off sometime. Talk to your children. Listen to what they're saying. Stop talking sometime. Listen to what they're saying. Look at what they're doing. If you pay attention to your children, a lot of times they'll tell you things without even telling you the thing. You feel me? Now, if you feel me, hit that like button. And if you ain't already subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified each and every time I drop any hot new content to this channel. Because, oh yeah, I'm about to crank it back up. From now until whatever day comes that we could do it no more. I'm about to crank it back up because I've been having a burning zeal inside of me, a burning desire inside of me, because I know that it's information that I'm supposed to be providing to the youth and people like you, so that you can go out here and you can continue to share this information to help us get out of this dire situation that we facing. Our children are at stake. We losing them, y'all, younger and younger. I know quite a few of them that have already gone on and transitioned on. And it's sad, man, when I see their mothers and I hear the stories and I see them sharing things on Facebook and Instagram. Like I told y'all before, one of my friends lost her son at 13. And it hit hard when I heard it, when it happened. But it hit so much more harder when she said, she shared that she had just went out and purchased him a headstone. That's when the shit just really just hit me like a ton of bricks, like boom, like that headstone hit me in the chest, like damn, man. When I left the streets, he was a baby. And not long after I got back, you know what I'm saying, he got murdered, gunned down. He was in diapers when I left the streets. So to see him as a baby, and that's still almost pretty much all I can imagine. Well, I take that back. I seen him once when I got out. Once. Very briefly. I stopped by there and I saw him. And not long after that, not long at all, less than 6 months later, he had been gunned down. And the sad thing was, it was by a family friend. It was by a friend of the family. It was by a friend of his, a peer of his that he was raised up with. Took him out. And it's happening more and more. I lost a cousin. Some of his partners that he used to go out and commit other crimes with, stealing and robbing and stuff, yeah. They took him out. The same ones he was doing the stuff with. Took him to a graveyard, matter of fact. I'm talking about some treacherous shit. Took him to the graveyard. Left him there. They was supposed to be just going out there and test their tools out. Allegedly. And they tested them out, all right. Took my family out, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying that he wasn't living a life that was gonna, that was promoting that type of activity. But, of course, when it's family, you still gonna feel some type of way. But the truth is the truth. Like, we gotta encourage our children to do better. And a lot of this stuff really falls on them because of poverty. It's because we poor, y'all. It's because we ain't got much. And so we're not able to encourage our kids. They don't listen to us because they looking at us like, you ain't got shit. And so they idolizing these rappers people that appear to have materialistic things that they desire, that they want, the cars, the rims, the jewelry, you know what I'm saying? The girls, the lifestyle that they desire, it doesn't look or appear that we can provide that to them. So they kind of lose interest. And the older they get, the more interest they lose in the parents. Because, you know, especially if you're not the cool parent. So let's focus on our children. And so that we can prepare them for the things that are to come, because here in the near future, if we don't, then not only will they be harmed, but they may become harmful. They may become the threat. Because you got to remember, a 13, a 14, a 15-year-old may think that they know everything, may think that they got it all figured out. But me and you both know, you know what I'm saying? We were 13, 14, 15 before, and we felt like we knew it all at some point. But just imagine being who you were, whether it was 25 years ago or 40 years ago. Imagine if it was 40 years ago, imagine it being 20 times worse, because they have far more influence in things negatively impacting them. So anyway, like I say, I wanted to make y'all aware of the recent strikes, the drone strikes that Iran cast on Israel, which will lead to further war and possibly some types of strikes on the United States. Now, a lot of people looking for bombs to come out of the sky. Will we get nuked? I don't know, because we walk on a tightrope with that as well. But honestly, we don't have to get nuked for us to really be devastated. I'll keep telling y'all about these EPAs or these electronic post bombs or whatever they call them, things that can destroy anything that has a digital frequency. So basically, from your radios to your cellular phones to the TVs, and any communicational devices, any electrical devices will be rendered useless. Not only that, I also fear them knocking out our satellites that provide us with certain capabilities. It's not Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi is running underground, but there are other, our cellular devices actually depend on it for cellular services. But a lot of our electronics depend on satellites, and if those satellites are knocked off, then it's going to knock our grid off, and it's going to cause some harm, because if you're not able to use your refrigerators, where your food going to go? So how you going to keep it cold? If you can't drive, if your smart car has been rendered disabled, because think about it, the smart car, that's the smart thing about them. They have all these capabilities, but the dumb side is if somebody hacks them, then they can control the car. They can control the automobile. In the same way as if they hack into our satellite systems. So you'd be down in that way. Another thing is, I've been noticing, I've been telling y'all for a couple of years now about the sky and the chemtrails. I've also noticed some farmland near me that don't appear to be the healthiest soil anymore. So I'm almost certain that whatever that is that they spraying constantly, I got a lot of video of constantly spraying the skies. Whatever that is, it's misting down, and over time it's causing I want to say it's causing the ground to be barren, because where it would normally be plush and green about this time of year, it's kind of yellowy, like dead grass. So I'm almost certain this shit killing the farmland. It's destroying the integrity of the soil. Because you know, if that dirt is like light brown, it ain't that healthy. It don't have enough nutrients in it. Good soil is the color of my hair. Black. That's rich. Anyway, so our food sources are being destroyed. So y'all look out for that as well. Try to pull yourself off that meat, because a lot of this meat, man, is being modified and cooked up in the laboratory, and it's gonna have a lot of health disparities to follow. We already in trouble. Think about it, man. Half of the people in the world either got cancer or they gonna get it. I'm sure over 40% of the world, and especially in our community, black people, we have to be the most careful. For one, because we are the least informed. We're the least educated when it comes down to health disparities. We don't have the medical facilities or the medical personnel and educators to provide us with the information or those measures that can help us detect things earlier, which could expand our lives and give us a better quality of life, even if we were to become ill. But because we lack those resources, then a lot of us end up dying, man, at a young age. Yep. And I'm gonna tell you another thing that I see a lot of us dying from. Aside from us killing each other, we gotta put these guns down, man. When it comes to killing each other, we definitely gotta put these guns down. I ain't saying we don't need no guns, because we need guns. But we gotta stop turning them on each other, y'all. We gotta find some kind of way to encourage each other and encourage our young sisters and brothers that the fight ain't supposed to be amongst each other. We gotta learn to love each other and protect each other. Don't you know if you go out here in the streets fighting your sisters and brothers, don't you know how vulnerable you look to the ops, the real oppressors, the ones who designed it like this? We look weak. We look vulnerable. We look like we could be taken over at any time. When you are focused more on if it's an internal beef, then it's nothing for an outside source to come in and take over. Trust me. I know a lot of us don't want to believe that. A lot of us don't want to hear that. A lot of us gonna say, nah, it ain't gonna happen to me because I got this AK. I got about 9 9s. But how many AKs do you think it's gonna take you to stop a military? Because we don't have a military. And all of our militant groups seem to get taken down. Like the not fucking around militia. Its leader got taken down for aiming a rifle in the sky, which supposedly was pointed at some law enforcement, and he ended up getting charged for it. Though they were at a march, at a rally, Black Lives Matter. No, they were at the what her name was, Aubrey Taylor in Kentucky. That was in Kentucky. The young lady that got gunned down inside her home for no apparent reason. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy because I think most of those officers got acquitted of those charges, and the only charges they actually faced were for some of the bullets that went into an apartment that was adjacent, or a home that was adjacent to that home, and not necessarily her or her boyfriend, which he spent like a year in jail before the charges were dropped on him, and all he was doing was defending his home. He shot back, and I think he ended up wounding one of the officers, but he did what he was supposed to do. But because he was black, and because she was black, and because they was looking for her ex-boyfriend who was a known drug dealer, you know what I'm saying? Then they gave it leniency. They made it okay. They made it okay. So you see the value of our lives opposed to theirs. Just like I just said, okay, with the O.J. Simpson situation, O.J. Simpson, R.I.P. Juice. And I'm not God, and I'm not finna try to play the devil's advocate either, but I'm gonna just tell you my opinion. I don't think that O.J. did it. I think that he was set up. It actually looked like a mob hit, if you ask me. Let me just say that. A lot of the evidence actually suggested that he didn't do it, or possibly his son. Which I'm up in the air with that. They could have just tried to make it look like he did it too. But we all know in 1995, the chances of a black man being acquitted of murdering 2 white people was still very slim, unless they knew, you know what I'm saying, that it was something fishy about this case. And that's just me. I'm just gonna stick to that, and that's it. So anyway, you got a lot of black people out here, oh, you know OJ did it, and woo, 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 woo. You know what I'm saying? I remember the case. I remember when it happened. I remember standing in my mama's living room watching the white Jeep, and, you know, we all like, damn, go. And you know, just trying to figure out what the hell really happened, because, you know, it wasn't that long after, there after the Rodney King beating. So, you know what I'm saying? Of course, we looking for him to survive or to beat this thing, because we were just looking for something to hold, you know, hang our hats on, or, you know, for just a little slither of hope. And of course, that case actually like empowered black people to feel like, you know, we can get a fair shake. Though a lot of us feel like he got away with murder. I don't feel like he did. I feel like he really suffered the last 30 plus years of his life. His last, 29 years, being accused and actually having to pay the family. So every dime that he would get was actually having to get sent to the families of Nicole and Ronald. And I really don't think that it was right. I mean, he was acquitted of the criminal charges, and I know that there's some difference between criminal and civil cases. I know it's a lot easier with wrongful death cases. I think it's a lot easier to be awarded or whatever. than it is to prosecute a criminal trial. But I look at the George Zimmerman situation, and he willfully took the life of a young teenage black boy. I think it was 15, 16, 15, I think it was. And no gun on him. All he had on was a hoodie, some Skittles, and about $40 in his pocket. And lost his life for walking through the wrong neighborhood. Some guy that wanted to be Rambo, neighborhood watch, George Zimmerman, decides to stalk this young man down, and kill him, even on the phone with the police. And he gets acquitted. Not even 3 months later, after he gets acquitted, he gets into a domesticated situation where he ended up threatening his wife at that time and her father with a gun. No charge was dropped. He get into another domesticated situation, and charges dropped again. Then he gets into a road rage situation. I think the person that shot at him ended up getting time, but once again, he gets off scot-free. Another domestic situation took place. I think he got put on papers or something. He got probation, but still no jail time. Then the most disheartening thing, which I shared in a post, not only that he didn't get any jail time, but to find out that he actually sold the weapon that he used to kill Trayvon Martin with in an online auction for $145,000, somewhere in that ballpark. Now you tell me if there's not a double standard in the United States, if there's not a double standard in our justice system, even though I know one of these things took place in California, this Zimmerman thing took place in Florida, which has a stand your ground law in place, but how much standing your ground does it, how much do you stand your ground against a young 15-year-old boy that not cause you any harm or threat and doesn't have any weapon, but you got the right to shoot him in his chest? You got the right to stalk him down. Even after the officer told you to stand down, you still took it upon yourself to take the law into your own hands. Shot this man in his chest and killed him. And yet you were acquitted. And then you still got out here and still doing all this craziness and pulling guns on your wife, and God knows what else you've done that haven't been reported. But you can get away with it and quietly slip off into the abyss. You know what I'm saying? How many people you hear mentioning George Zimmerman? But as soon as you say OJ, the first thing they're gonna talk about is the Nicole and Ronald situation. The accusations of him murdering them, which he was acquitted of. So that should have been a done dollar, right? Zimmerman killed Trayvon. Everybody know he did it. He didn't lie about it. He didn't deny that he did it. But the law still saw that he was righteous for what he did. Not only that, he turned around and tried to sue Trayvon's family along with a politician on the grounds of defamation, saying that they defamed him by using his name after he had been acquitted of those charges, by using his name and bringing him up for those accusations of that charge. Ain't that crazy? Personally, just outright killed this man, gets away with it through the court systems, then turns around several years later and decides he wants to sue the family to the victim because they speaking on his name. But I'm thankful that none of the judges that presided over those civil matters saw it in his, saw it in his favor, because that would have really been a strike. That would have really been a blow to me, because Trayvon's family only recovered like $1 million. And here it was, Zimmerman was filing multiple lawsuits that totaled over $300 million, saying someone defamed his character. But here you are, taking out a whole human being's life, not served 1 day in jail, and you got the audacity, because these people's talking about what happened to their child. You got the audacity to try to sue these people. Double standard. Hello, America. Hello, black people. That's why it is important. Don't you know that we better together? And divided, we're going to continue to fall and get ripped off for everything that is worth and never have a chance to do anything of substantial greatness that can help build up our community, help elevate our community and its people. Aren't y'all tired of being at the back of everything, it's time for us to experience some heaven here on earth. It's time for us to experience some of the pleasantries of living this life here, and stop just being encouraged to die and then live in paradise or heaven. Why do I have to suffer my entire being and then only in my death be set free? But that's another subject for another day. That's jumping into the religious aspects, of which I tell y'all that's why I don't subscribe to that stuff anymore, because it's too damning. Religion is too damning. It's too damning. It's like empowering someone else by giving them your power and your energy. That's the way I look at it. Not only that, a lot of these religions, if you really dig deep, you'll find that they practice pedophilia and a lot of homo activity. Like, it's okay. A lot of this homosexuality is pushed through these religions. Yeah, you know that. Look at all those Catholic priests, those little boys, the little altar boys. It ain't just happening in the Catholic church, but you know what I'm saying? Actually, the Baptist churches is having these type of issues too. You know, and the sad thing is that we know that those type of issues are a problem, but we welcome it. We actually put these people in leadership positions. So what are they doing? Encouraging your children to become as they are. A damnation in the eyes of anybody that's righteous and know that we were created as man and woman for a reason. I don't hate on any community of people, but I just tell it how it is, man. I don't feel like no one was just born like this. I feel like there was something that happened to most of these people, that 99% of them, that encouraged them to be the way that they are, promoted it. And a lot of it's because of what they're seeing and the people that they are looking up to. They're okay with it. That's got to change, people. See, a lot of people probably hate on me for the simple fact that I pour a lot of my feelings to these videos because, like I said before, I got children out here. Some of my children are already grown, but I got little ones coming up. And I ain't so much worried about the grown ones because they came up in a point in time when, you know, almost some of the things were still lined up to the way that I was raised. But this newer generation, Generation Z, they don't have no fear. And they don't believe nothing you say. They don't think you know nothing. They think they know it all. You know? And that's scary to me when you got 4 and 5-year-olds talking like they 25 and really thinking they know something when they really don't. You know? I'm proud of them, how smart they are and articulate they are. But it's just no way at that tender age for you to have experienced enough to really truly know, even if I sat down and told you word for word what you think you know. Anyway, you know, I enjoy talking to you all, but it's also a lot of pressure that builds up inside of me because, man, I see how great that we can be, and I see the potential that we have if we were able to actually bring it together. But the likelihood of that is so narrow and so shallow and so unlikely that it just makes me feel, it makes me cringe. Because I'm like, am I wasting my breath? Am I wasting my time? No, I'm not. Because as I always state, I hope that it's just one someone out there that's listening to the sounds of my voice. One. And if you be that one, if you hadn't already done so, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. I promise you, my goal and my ambition is to stay on this mission of reaching and saving souls and trying to create a better atmosphere and a better spirit man inside of you. Like, my objective is to make us better and to help provide us with the nuggets and the knowledge that we need to start to enhance the way that we think. See, our thinking has been retracting and subtracting rather than multiplying and doing addition, because we've already been counted out. And now we started to count ourselves out. We don't even believe in ourselves. We don't believe that we could become the future leaders of this world. We don't believe that we are actually kings and queens. We say it, but we don't display it. And so with saying all of this, I'm trying to help enlighten you all and make you all aware of some things. Like I told y'all, these wars, rumors of wars, it's real. It's not if, it's when. So we face with a possibility of World War III sometime soon. Actually touching bases with us, like we gonna actually see it on this land. So I've been telling y'all, if you can, hell, build your doomsday bunker. I wish I could. I can't afford it. I can't afford it, hell, to get out of my apartment. But I do have plenty of water stored up in storage, and I keep some there at the apartment. I keep some in my cars. I keep, water, canned goods. Got a lot of tuna. I buy tuna every time I go in the store, and tuna lasts for 2 to 3 years. You can keep canned tuna for 2 to 3 years. And dry beans. I buy a lot of dry beans, kidney beans, pinto beans. They can last 2 to 3 years as well. So make sure you store them properly. Try to put you some kits together, some survival kits, in case you have to get up in the middle of the night, man. Like I said, somebody gonna be out here celebrating their birthday and having a good time when this shit hit. When this shit hit home, and all the lights go out or whatever happen, it ain't gonna be no time then to prepare. People just gonna be running in circles and hollering and screaming then. But if you take heed, if you listen, and follow my spiritual guidance, then I promise you, you'll be in a better predicament. I ain't gonna say it's gonna save you, because I can't even promise to save myself. I don't know how deep this thing could go. You know what I'm saying? I'm even looking into it as being in the end times, And when I say end times, I know a lot of people think of the world, just the entire world just coming to an end. But I don't think that's the way that the world will end. I think that a large sum of it could be terminated. But I think that a large sum of it will survive, just like during the flood. Obviously, evil still survived the flood, right? The great flood, when Noah gathered his family and all the animals and perished. Somehow evil still persisted after that flood that was supposed to wipe it all out. And in my opinion, I feel like because it didn't just destroy the entire world as we know it, it destroyed that world. Like they discovering like Atlantis under the sea, you know what I'm saying? Now there's certain bodies of water are drying up. They started to discover these civilizations, ancient civilizations. That was their world. And it came to a quick ending, you know what I'm saying? So the end of their world happened. But that's not to say that people didn't still survive other places. But not only did they just survive, they didn't just survive, they still had to face the atrocities that come along with with that large sum of people being hit or taken out, or whatever sources that they were able to provide no longer being. So what I'm saying is, if we're hit somewhere else and it don't necessarily kill you, it will still affect you because your food sources may be cut off. Your lights and power sources may be cut off. You know what I'm saying? Just your day-to-day living and the things that you need to survive may be cut off, and you may be forced to improvise and to go back into a primitive state of mankind. Just be prepared mentally, spiritually, and physically. I love you all. If you hadn't already subscribed, like I said before, please hit that subscribe button and subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified each and every time that I drop any hot new content to this channel. I am a determined black man, John Jay. Until the next time, I want y'all to stay up and stay good. Good people. Stay up, stay humble, and stay good people. Till the next time, I'm out. 1.